Hey, welcome. My name's Billy, and I want to do some drawing today. So, I have been trying to do daily drawings, and today's drawing is. I don't know what it is. Some days I decide that I'd like to do a theme. I pick a word, and I think I might be going to try to start doing that and recording it for everybody. Today, it is a thing that I just kind of came upon. So I've been drawing this little Grim Reaper guy that I've been really enjoying. My style is really like doing kind of bold line art. And these exercises of mine, these are just supposed to be quick and simple, and you don't take too much time thinking about it. You just kind of do some quick preliminary kind of sketching, and then just kind of settle on something and then do it. Create something. That's the goal, is to create something quickly. I encourage everybody to do this. It's tons of fun, and it's always interesting to see what you come up with. But yeah, so my little Grim Reaper guy, I decided that I like the idea of him sitting on a stump out in the middle of like nowhere. Just sitting out there in like a meditative pose. Kind of, I like the feet together kind of thing. That's what I'm working on here, is his shoes. That I don't know, that pose is different for me. So I had to sketch the legs quite a few times to just kind of figure out. It's like, well, now how do you put this here? Wait, now how do these pants supposed to lay down? And you eventually kind of, I think I figured it out. After I got that done, I started working on the body and placing where I wanted the head. And you'll notice that my drawing style technique, I guess, is a little all over the place. I'll work on one chunk and then jump over to another chunk, and that's how I've always kind of been. But I realized that I made him way too big for this piece of paper. I actually wanted him to be smaller because I wanted a sky behind him and a horizon and everything. And I was like, oh, but you know what? I just kind of rolled with it. I was just, so he's everything here. There's no background. It's just him. And I actually think I like it. I like how it kind of ended up. I am thinking about taking this idea of him in this pose and kind of refining it. I think that would be fun. Kind of run with this. I like this pose. It's kind of it's a different pose for me. I've never done this kind of thing. And that's kind of the reason I do these daily exercises, and you get to explore different thoughts, different ways of doing things. You can see here he wears, my little Reaper guy, he was wearing a hoodie and some baggy pants, kind of like that. I just felt like doing kind of a meditation thing today. Here I'm putting on his little pull strings for the hoodie. Decided to put the hood up. Sometimes I have it down. Here I'm working on the stump, adding in some little rough parts, so it's not just a solid line. And I'm using a mechanical pencil that has this lead in it. It's called Photocopy Blue. It's kind of cool. So if I decide to scan this and there's any of the lead left behind, the scanner actually won't pick it up. It was kind of neat. I've been trying to learn how to do more digital art. And that has been quite the learning curve for me. I've always been a traditional artist, quote, traditional artist, using pencils, pens, paper, paint. Just ran out of lead there. Click, 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 click. But yeah, it's been kind of a rough go trying to learn that stuff. I don't want to say that tools make it easier, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not great at that. So I'm excited I've learned some new ways of getting my art into a digital format so I can start doing coloring. That's really what I am going for, is I want to do digital coloring. I think that stuff looks really cool, and I think it would work really well with my art style. I am just kind of refining some of the lines, some of the folds, and little extra details. Yeah, I do highly recommend this Photocopy Blue lead for anybody that is interested in doing transferring their work into the computer, into a digital format. And I will post a link to the lead and pencil that I use so that you can do it as well. Here I just added in a little flower. I thought it would just be kind of nice to have a little flower there at the bottom of the stump. Yeah, so here I'm now using this brush marker that I really like. It's really fun to use. I feel like I want to use this exclusively most of the time because it gives me nice, varied line thickness that I think is. I recommend these two. These Micron marker pens for inking, especially the brush. It's my favorite one out of the pack as well. I will also put a link to those as well down there. Eyes closed, filling in the new. Yeah, I think he turned out pretty well. I like him. I don't know how well it's going to show up on the video, the varied line thickness. Like that. Can't praise that thing enough. Love it. It's my favorite. It is interesting to draw and ink with a camera right in the way. Not gonna lie, you have to kind of learn to be aware of it and make sure you always have your subject, the drawing in the frame, and trying to be too crazy with it. So you can't, because there's times when I'm inking, I'll get in weird positions to try to make a continuous line. So some of my lines on here I'm not 100% happy with, but it's just a quick sketch. It is what it is, and I'm still happy with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's one thing that is important. This is just for the sake of making something. Inking in the stump here, giving it some character. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the stump turned out. I think that looked neat. When we get to doing the, what do you call that? I guess the bark or whatever it is on the stump. I kind of winged it there. I've never tried this one technique. When we get there, I'll explain what I was doing there. Yeah. While using this brush pen, I am trying to be aware of where my lines will end and where I'm going to need to have ink to meet up with it, so I can try to have cleaner stopping points. Yeah, inking with this brush pen, you do have a bit of a learning curve because it lays down quite a bit of ink, and you can quickly get a very thick line all of a sudden. So if you're able to have a light touch with it, you can get super fine lines, which I absolutely love about it. But yeah, you need to be aware of your start and stop points so that you're minimizing breaks and unwanted, I would call them like dots. You'll see when you have a stopping point, like using a marker, it tends to soak up more there, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so here I think the brush is great for flowers because you do get that very thickness. So one side can be kind of have a little more dynamic nature to it, and I thought this flower actually turned out really cool. Very happy with it. Thinking I might bring this in and try coloring this. Yeah, here, okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of lightly dragging it across the page, just letting the brush kind of do its thing. So wherever it lands, it lands. So I'm getting this texture, kind of dotted dashed line kind of thing, and I thought it actually turned out really well. I was surprised that it worked. I was like, well, maybe I can just hop it across the page, and see if it does it. And I thought it actually did a really well job on it. There's the horizon line, and that's it. I think I'm gonna grab an eraser and kind of clean it off. But if you enjoyed this video and spending some time with me while I did this drawing, why don't you hit that like button, and also why don't you think about subscribing to the channel so that you can come on back and check out more videos that we do. Thanks for watching.